Hello guys, it's Ben Spurs here with my talking points of the week, and today we're going to be looking at the Premier League title race and who's going to finish in the top 4. So currently Chelsea lead the way by 9 points on 59, Spurs currently sit second with 50 points, Manchester City sit third with 49 points, Arsenal sit fourth with 47, Liverpool in 5th with 46, and Man United is 6th on 45. So we're going to basically analyse each club and determine one, who's going to win the title, and which of the two of those 6 will miss out on the top 4 this season. So starting at the top with Chelsea, who it's fair to say look new enough untouchable at the moment. Bar the loss away at Spurs and even the draw against Liverpool, which was still a pretty good result, they've just blown everyone away. I mean, to be fair, Saturday against Arsenal, they were in second gear and still won that game comfortably. I mean, there was a lot of hoopla about maybe Bellerin was fouled for the first goal, but Alonso just outstrengthed him really for the header. So, I don't think you can portion blame on that. The second goal as well. I mean, the defending from Arsenal is poor. Don't get me wrong, it's absolutely magnificent run from Hazard to just dribble his way through from his own half to score. But when you see Coquelin's pirouetting and falling over, and Mustafi just being left for dead, it's not very encouraging at all. And then I don't know what Petr was doing. Felt like he was still playing for Chelsea with that third goal, just saying there you go to Fabregas and just chipping the ball in for 3-0. I mean, it was appalling from Arsenal's point of view. And from Chelsea, really, I mean, the spirit that they've got at the moment with Conte there is really driving them forward more and more and more. And bar a huge collapse, you've got to admit they're looking pretty good in terms of winning the title. So moving on to Spurs, who currently sit in second place after a crucial 1-0 win against Middlesbrough. At the moment, the thing with Spurs is just keep the momentum going. They've been on a good run. They've won they've won and drawn everything since Christmas. When you look, they've beaten Southampton, Watford, Chelsea, West Brom, Middlesbrough, and drew Man City and Sunderland. So they've got momentum on their side, and really Harry Kane scoring all the goals. Dele Alli, Moussa Dembele are on form, and the defensive line, the best defence in the Premier League, is keeping clean sheets, which is always crucial when you want to be challenging for the title. And Pochettino continues to just make that squad better and better individually. So really, it's only onwards and upwards for Spurs. The headache that will come in for Spurs, of course, very shortly, is of course the Europa League. So I think a decision might need to be made there. Do Spurs just give away the Europa League for concentrating on the Premier League and the FA Cup, or do they go for the Europa League, knowing realistically the title might be out of reach, but then do you risk sacrificing the place in the top 4? I think Spurs need to just concentrate on getting at minimum second or third in the Premier League, hopefully second, and just concentrate on the FA Cup, I think. And I don't think any Spurs fan would say that that's not the right thing to do. So moving on to Manchester City, who have come out of a bit of a dip recently and got back to good form. They had a good 2-2 draw at home against Spurs, followed by demolishing West Ham 4-0, and then a crucial injury time win against Swansea at the weekend. Of course, helped all by their new signing Gabriel Jesus, who has just settled into the Premier League like a duck on water. He's had no time at all settling in. He looks quick, agile, strong. Looks almost perfectly tailor-made for the Premier League, which is saying something about a South American player. So I think he's going to be an amazing player over the years. Obviously, you can't hype him too much, considering that he's only 19, but the future looks good for him. There are still concerns on the defensive side though of Man City. I mean, 2-0 up against Spurs, and, they allowed Spurs to come back into that game to draw 2-2. And even at the weekend against Swansea, Sigurdsson scoring late on, it forced City to again risk hard to go and get the win. So there are still question marks about the defensive side of Guardiola's game, but ultimately they've got more than enough to get into the top 4, and with this little boost of confidence and the way that Jesus has almost galvanised the team, really, everybody looks happy with him and he feels really comfortable there. So I think it's fair to say Man City are going to be top 4. Moving on to Arsenal, who had a pretty much disastrous week. Not only losing away to Chelsea, but before that, losing at home to Watford. And just... I was speaking to my brother-in-law about it, who's an Arsenal fan, and he's just said it's the same every single season that this happens. And there just seems to be no... It's like an endless cycle. Hope, disappointment, and then spurt at the end. Every single season with Arsenal. Always you get to this time of the year, February, and the team collapses under pressure. Even with them adding players over the years, nothing seems to change there. And what was something really pointed out to me on Saturday was that the Chelsea fans were saying, Arsene Wenger, we want you to stay. Because truthfully, and I know this as a Spurs fan, because we've got this feeling as well, I think all the other big clubs, fans, know that if Wenger carries on at Arsenal realistically are not going to be a threat for winning the title. I think Arsenal have almost got to the point that they almost have to make a change, because it just needs some new life. It's almost like a walking corpse at the moment, and it just needs something to get them back to life, because the players look bored, the fans look bored, and just really, it's only going to get worse and worse. And if they carry like this, they won't even get the top 4, which again might be actually what they need. I mean, you look at how Man United have had to shake their ideas up, from not finishing top 4, and it's taken them, they've wasted a lot of money, and it's took them a few years to get it sorted, but they seem to be getting there now. And I think Arsenal will always need to go through that process in order to get themselves back up to the top level again. So maybe that's what they need, but maybe not. We'll have to wait and see on that. Moving on to Liverpool, whose wheels have equally fallen off the wagon after a fantastic start. So many losses in January, and then losing away at Hull on Saturday was a bad result for them. Even Mane's return hasn't helped the fortunes of the side. Coutinho hasn't really got back to his sharpness that he was earlier in the season, and just the players are dead on their feet, to be honest. I know Jurgen Klopp loves this high pressing style, which is quite similar to what Spurs play, but I don't think the Liverpool players have got the capability to keep that level of intensity every single game, because you can see they tire. And again, almost like with Man City, the defending of Liverpool is atrocious at times. I mean, both of their goalkeepers, it doesn't matter if it's Mignolet or Callias, both of them are very suspect. I mean, Saturday for the first goal, Mignolet comes for a corner, just drops the ball straight out into the penalty box. They're 1-0 down. So I really can't see where Liverpool can improve on this, unless they say they need to kick up the arse and need to get some momentum. So, do you guys agree? Let me know in the comments, but I don't think Liverpool are going to finish top 4 at this rate, I have to say. Finally, we move on to Man United, who are on the right track, it's fair to say. I know there's this running gag going along that they were like 6th when they started this great run of results, and they're still 6th. But the important thing is, they're still improving. They're still keeping momentum on their side. I mean, there've been the old frustrating draws for them. You think of Hull, Burnley, and there's a couple of others as well. But the way they just took apart Leicester showed that finally Mourinho is starting to implement his style, but also he's also willing to accommodate the attacking flair that I think Man United fans desire in their side. And I think a lot of that runs through Henrik Mkhitaryan. I mean, you look earlier in the season when Man United had real form, he was out of the team. And then as soon as he was put back in, Man United's form shot up. You know, I know other players, I mean, Carrick is pretty much invaluable in that midfield, and of course, Zlatan's goals are equally valuable. But I think the importance of Mkhitaryan to how they win in the midfield is vital to them continuing this run that they're on. And of course, they're the only club still in every competition: Europa League, FA Cup, and of course they've got the League Cup final coming up in a couple of weeks too. So it's very interesting. I think it's pretty clear. I think Chelsea will win the title. I think Spurs are going to finish second. I think Man City will finish third, with Man United fourth. I think Liverpool and Arsenal are going to miss out. And that's purely because of if Arsenal and Liverpool don't seem to have the capability to get through a bad run of results and then get on a good run again, because every other club has. Chelsea had early in the season before they went on their run, Spurs have, Man United have, and Man City are starting to go through it now. So unless Arsenal and Liverpool turn it around quickly, I think they're going to be the two who miss out. Do you guys agree? Let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to click like, share and subscribe. You can also follow me on Twitter. I've been Mentor21. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.